If you're jumping into Skyrim for the first time or coming back after years away, this video is going to help you start strong, avoid early mistakes, and get the most out of your playthrough. We're covering everything from character creation and crafting to exploration and crime, with quick, practical tips that'll actually make your first few hours a little smoother. So let's dive in. Before you even hit new game, it's worth knowing which version of Skyrim you're actually playing. There's the original version, which is just the base game, and then you have Special Edition and Anniversary Edition. Special Edition improves the graphics, stability, and mod support, while the Anniversary Edition includes everything from the Special Edition, but also introduces all of the Creation Club content, like new weapons, armor, quests, homes, and survival mechanics. If you're brand new to Skyrim, Special Edition is the way to go. It's the most complete version of the game without disrupting your experience with Creation Club content. And don't worry, you can always upgrade to Anniversary Edition later if you want. When you're creating your character, have a build in mind before you start. Some common types of builds are Warrior, Mage, Thief, or some sort of hybrid. Skyrim's flexible, but specializing early helps you level efficiently and stay strong throughout the early game. And now that you have a build in mind, you're going to want to select a race that complements that build. Orcs are great warriors because of their berserker ability. High elves get extra magic for casting, which is great for early game spellcasting. And then you have the wood elves who get bonuses to their sneak early. It's worth noting that this decision won't have any major effects for you, it's just icing on the cake when creating a build. Choosing the right race though gives you a smoother start and faster progression in the game. Alright, your first real test is escaping Helgen. It doesn't matter whether you follow Ralof or Hadvar, both paths end up outside the cave, but your choice does affect a few minor rewards later. As you go through, make sure that you loot everything, including valuable potions, ingredients, lockpicks, and anything with a good weight to value ratio. You'll need some of these items to craft, and then the other ones you can sell, and you'll need the gold especially early on. Make sure to eat every ingredient at least once to learn its first alchemical effect. When you get to the Torturer's room, make sure that you loot the skeletal remains of the mage for his robes and spell tome. You can either use these items or sell them later. When you get to the spider room, grab every poison off of the spiders that you kill, and loot every egg sac to get those ingredients. And when you get to the bear, instead of sneaking past it, just go ahead and kill it for the bear pelt and the bear claws. Oh, and make sure to save often. Skyrim crashes sometimes, and you never know when a random bandit is just going to one-shot you. And once you've made it out of Helgen, make sure that you follow either Ralof or Hadvar to Riverwood. They can help you fight some of the enemies along the road, as well as give you some insight on the current political state of Skyrim. On the way to Riverwood, make sure that you activate one of the Guardian Stones. There are 3 of these, including the Warrior, Mage, and Thief Stone. Each one of these stones give you a 20% XP boost in their respective skill trees, so make sure you pick the one that best suits your build. Once you get to Riverwood, you can get Faendal or Sven as your first follower. Faendal is widely considered the better option because he's an archer and he can even train you in archery, which you can exploit by taking the gold back out of his inventory. You can also use his house for free after recruiting him, and make sure that you meet Ralof or Hadvar's family because they can give you quite a bit of gear early on. These are the minor rewards that I mentioned earlier. Your next step should be to sell any of your junk at the Riverwood trader, but hold on to any enchanted gear so you can disenchant it later and keep ingredients for alchemy. Also, pick up the Golden Claw quest while you're there. It leads to Bleakfall's Barrow, which you'll want to hit next anyway. If you gain any levels along the way, sometimes it's a good idea to save them. This is because leveling up completely restores your health, magicka, and stamina, which is useful if you're in a difficult situation. And since we're on the topic of leveling up, don't waste any perk points early on. For example, you don't want to spend perk points in the illusion skill tree if you're a two-handed warrior. Focus on your main combat skills and crafting if needed. You can always reset these later by making them legendary, but that requires getting the skill to level 100. Your next step should be to leave Riverwood and head for Bleakfall's Barrow. You're going to complete this dungeon, grab the Dragonstone, and return the Golden Claw to the general store in Riverwood. Completing this quest will give you some gold, which is great early on. And with your first side quest done, your next stop is to head on over to Whiterun. Report the dragon attack to the Jarl, and after you turn in the Dragonstone and progress a little further, you'll unlock dragons and shouts, which officially opens up Skyrim's main story. And these shouts make you much more dangerous to your enemies. At this point, you will have the ability to buy a house in Whiterun for 5,000 gold. To do this, you'll need to talk to the Jarl's steward. You can also upgrade your house by adding an alchemy station. Sleeping in beds gives you XP bonuses. You get 5% XP for sleeping in a random bed, you get a 10% bonus for sleeping in your own home, and you get a 15% bonus if you're married and sleep in the same bed as your spouse. Make sure to use the enchanting table in Dragon's Reach to disenchant your gear and increase your enchanting skill. You can also use the alchemy lab there or the one in your new home to create potions for use or for selling. Don't feel pressured into rushing the main quest line, because despite the impending doom, there is no timer, so you can take your time exploring, joining guilds, or hunting side quests. Joining the companions early is also a good move. It gives you access to trainers, quests, and a unique ability if you want that later on. And if you've got the spare gold, you can buy a horse at the Whiterun stables. Owning a horse will make your travel easier in the early game. And now we'll talk about crime in Skyrim.
Yo, what's going on, Bucketheads? It's your boy Joe, and Wait, this is the wrong channel. Skyrim has a justice system, but if you look at its inner machinations, it seems to be more of an injustice system. Don't you dare accidentally kill that chicken. That'll be a violation worthy of a town mob. You can attack essential NPCs up until a certain extent before they turn hostile and you accrue 40 gold bounty. But you can't get 1,000 gold because, again, they're essential and you can't murder them. Murdering non-essential, non-hostile NPCs, on the other hand, is obviously a crime. And interestingly enough, those murders can be witnessed and reported by a horse. Don't know what that's about. After murdering those village NPCs, though, this should result in an urn being placed in their honor at the corresponding local Hall of the Dead. All these years that we've been killing Azim and we didn't even know that he's getting urns placed in his honor.
If you ever get caught committing a crime, pay your bounty instead of going to jail. Jail time reduces skill progress, and that's not worth it early on. Focusing on smithing, alchemy, and enchanting are great ways to increase your damage output. Together, they can make you richer, stronger, and more self-sufficient. Just be careful not to overlevel crafting too fast, as it can make enemies scale higher than your combat skills can handle. When mining ore, don't waste time with the animation. Just equip a pickaxe and attack the vein. And now that you've mined the ores, you can smelt them into ingots to reduce carry weight and prep for smithing. And you'll definitely want to grab the transmute spell from Halted Stream Camp. It lets you turn iron ore into silver and then gold, which is incredible for making money early on. And we did mention disenchanting gear earlier, but make sure that you're doing that to learn the effects. You can then use these effects to enchant items before you sell them. This will earn you more gold than just selling an unenchanted weapon. And since we're talking about enchantments, you'll need to remember to recharge your enchanted weapons using soul gems. The greater the soul gem, the more charges it restores. Alchemy is a very powerful skill, both early in the game as well as later on. For example, you can combine blue mountain flowers as well as wheat for healing potions early on. And the best part about these ingredients is they can be found in and around Whiterun. Now for the fun part, exploring. Skyrim's world rewards curiosity, so explore every location you see for loot and fast travel points. Don't hoard everything though, it's better to sell often than to walk around over encumbered. Use your follower as a pack mule instead by trading them all of your heavy loot. And make sure that you're talking to every NPC. Some of the best quests and hidden treasures come from simple conversations. If you want to unlock some fast travel points early, pay for carriage rides between cities. It's cheap and saves a lot of time. And make sure that you stay away from giants and mammoths early on, unless you want to join the Skyrim space program. And another tip that a lot of people overlook is the favorites menu. Favoriting items can save you a lot of time because you won't have to search through your inventory for the item or spell that you want. A few last things to keep in mind. Don't chase perfection in Skyrim. It's meant to be replayed, and you can always respec your perks later. And if the game ever feels too hard or too easy, change the difficulty. There's no shame in adjusting it because the goal is to enjoy the game, not suffer through it. And try not to fast travel too much. Walking or riding through the world leads to random encounters, secret locations, and some cool moments that make Skyrim special. And finally, don't mod the game right away. Experience vanilla Skyrim first. Once you've learned the systems and experienced the game for yourself, then I would recommend for you to start modding and shaping the game to how you want it. And that's it, a complete beginner's guide to Skyrim. If you found this helpful, drop a like to help other players find it too. And subscribe if you want more Skyrim.